Do the Falcons have the best wide receiver and running back duo in the NFL?
Ooh,
I said it.
You're gonna make some folks mad in Tampa Bay.
I know you right now. You're gonna go, man. I sure love when a non-quarterback wins MVP. Like, come on, you got to think that a little bit sometimes.
The league is.
Because you got hosed out of one.
Yeah, we're not going. This is not about me. My career has passed me.
Okay.
Drake London has really surprised me, the organization, but it's also the organization for the Atlanta Falcons. And you can say, Steve, you have no idea. I got receipts.
You got an idea.
I got lots of receipts. I got receipts of talking to receipt givers in the game while it was being played.
Oh.
This was at 7:55 after one of his catches. Ridiculous. The touchdown. When he,
Oh. And then, Steve, the defender comes and he just goes,
yes.
Real back.
So I said.
That was his basketball background, that whole play, man.
I said, number five is impressive. Says animal. Same mentality as you played with. I said, whoa, slow down there. Slow down there.
I knew that was coming.
Slow down. I said, he's been playing lights out. I've been watching him very closely. Mm-hmm. Why am I watching him very closely? Because I was very critical of the type of player he's going to be. But if you go back and listen with your ears and not with your stank-ass heart, right, you would hear I said he's taken a step back because of quarterback play. And if you go back in statistics and look, Drake London's usage, target, depth of target were all significantly lower with Kirk Cousins at the helm at quarterback. And then go back even further when I said, who threw it? Desmond.
That's your Desmond Ritter
Desmond Ritter stray and said that he is going to be a sophomore. Even though he's going into his third year when Kirk Cousins first got there. I said, but technically it's only his sophomore year of playing football, his second year of playing football, because of what he did not get. He didn't get opportunities to do what he's doing now, right? Like, the plays that he's making them because now he has an opportunity. Just like when Kirk Cousins was in, Kyle Pitts has actually played and been impactful on the offense.
I'll throw a little quick Pitts thing in there. There's a couple reasons why they're seeing a different Kyle Pitts this year.
He's healthy.
He's got a clearer mind. I'll just put it that way.
Yep.
He's blocking his butt off. They think that's
he
happening. He's getting more physical. And it's what type of year is it, Steve?
Contract year.
It's a contract year.
But I've talked to Kyle.
I'm not taking it away from him.
Right?
I'm just saying.
I'm not taking that away. I've talked to Kyle a little bit too, and I would agree with you with clear head. You got to understand, man, this is a kid who was drafted, right? Top 10 pick was drafted. And what happens? COVID.
Then he had the knee injury.
Yep. Then he was playing with some terrible quarterbacks.
Yeah. And it took him a minute to come back from that knee.
He wasn't even – bro, I watched him in training camp.
He was playing and he wasn't right.
Right, I was watching him in training camp this year. He was still a little ginger, right? But now he feels comfortable on the soil that his feet is on.
Yep.
Man, and that's huge.
It's massive. And I'll say it too. When you have the faith of your quarterback, changes the way you play football and the way you run routes. Because I'll just say it, like, straight up. Kirk did not have a whole lot of faith in Kyle Pitts, and he didn't really want to throw him the football. Nope. That was my understanding. Now you've seen Michael Penix come in and has a little different mentality with Kyle, and I think we're seeing a little bit different Kyle Pitts. And this offense, Steve, and I want you to continue on Drake May on what you're seeing, because it also
Drake
was
London. You made
Drake London, sorry. Oh, Drake May.
How dare you?
Dude, we can't get names wrong on this show.
We sure can, because Steve's a dumbass because he doesn't remember people's names.
The other change that happened on why this works for Drake London is the evolution of Zach Robinson being there and the way that this offense has changed. And remember where he came from. And he came from working with Sean McVay. And he came from working in that offense. And now they have the ability to run this entire offense through two players. It is Drake London and Bijan Robinson. Okay. They actually run the pass game between those two players. That's the focal point of their pass game. Now Drake is obviously the focal point of the passing game, but it really is him and Bijan that run this entire kind of passing offense. And Steve, what's changed with London? And I want to you've talked about Puka Nacua on here. You've talked about Cooper Kupp. You look at where they've lined up, and what's really been taken in Atlanta, I'm told, is that they've looked at what Sean has done, and obviously Zach has a great relationship with him, with Puka Nacua, and having a bigger-bodied receiver play closer and inside the numbers like they use Drake, and Drake is used in the run game. They run behind him all the time. Yeah. They run behind him a lot, actually, in the run game because they think he's a really good blocker, but at the same time, he's not just sitting out wide. He plays the F for them, essentially, in this offense. What do you love about that spot,
Steve? You said the magical word. Like,
yep.
What would you do for two Scooby snacks, Scooby?
Just say, Steve, X, F, and Z are interchangeable in this offense. Multiple guys play multiple spots.
Yeah,
they move them around.
Yeah, so multiple guys play multiple spots, but they don't. And here's what I mean. In the alphabet of receivers, it was originally X is the speed down the field guy. Yeah. Z was a speed guy. Like, look, they want speed, right? And
everybody does.
Everybody wants speed, but the speed varies, right? And so you can have a Z who's faster than the X, or you can have a X slower than a Z. It just doesn't matter until your offensive coordinator knows exactly what the hell he's doing. That is important. So X is your speed guy. I like to call him stationary stand. He has no ability to motion. He's opposite side of the tight end. Generally, the X is where if they say close right, which is close, which means for Z or F, you're in a closed position, close to the tight end. The X goes opposite of where the formation is.
Yes.
Z and Y go to the formation. Y is still a tight end. Z is the receiver who helps in on a run game, who inserts himself and is considered the strength of the offense. Okay?
And that's where Drake's been a bunch.
Correct.
A bunch.
But
because he was the X.
Yes. So before the new age offense came, F was a fullback. Right? And then they had little words in the formation that would reassign the fullback, get him out of the F position and get him maybe in a halfback position to be able to block. And so some genius said, man, we don't need an F. We don't need a fullback anymore. They're obsolete. So now F became Z. Yeah. Z became X. And then the X just is a guy out there who his full responsibility is to run and put pressure on the defense. And that X is, when he's healthy, Darnell Mooney.
Yep.
Which is a speed guy.
100%. To make this crystal clear for everybody, because what you're saying is exactly right. When Zach got there, it was, I'm moving Drake from X to Z, and then we are going to now, this year, and this is what's worked, and this is what we're going to break down, they're sitting in a formation that is the same same personnel group, Steve, on first down and third down, which is essentially they have Drake, Bijan, Kyle Pitts, and Charlie Warner, their tight end, and then whatever the other receiver is. That's really the way they put it. Because Mooney's been hurt.
Mooney's been hurt. Ray McLeod is dinged up as well, so he's
was a healthy scratch this past week.
What'd you say?
He was a healthy scratch this past week. So my point is, when I say the Falcons look at it going, the players I mentioned and then another receiver, that's the players I mentioned is the focal point.
Yes.
They need, like you mentioned, Mooney is out there to stretch it, to
and if the opportunity is there, they're taking it.
Exactly. Which is why this offense is now, in the Falcons' mind, and I think we've seen it with the way that they're playing, become really difficult to defend when they wrote out that same personnel group and they run out of it on first down. Same personnel group and put Charlie in the backfield to now block, and Bijan's in the slot, and now you're doing the same players you use on first down to run out of to throw out of on third down. It's interesting.
The offensive coordinator is evolving and trying to figure out how and what his players do best at.
Yes.
And it's very early on that they're like, hey, he's out of position. Here's the funny part. I play Z. When I was first drafted, I was lined up behind Musa Muhammad at Z. And they were like, he's out of position. Now in college, I played X. They drafted me and said, well, you're going to play Z. I didn't ask to play Z.
You'd like Z right now in today's NFL.
Oh, I love Z. Because here's the responsibility of Z. Z has motion. Z gets the zig, which is go back in and go back out. Zach, that's Z across or fact.
How much did you see Drake do that last night, Steve?
Fact across. Fact across. And why is that important? You saw it was either Bijan or Drake trying to establish and allowing your quarterback to confirm where he's going with the ball, not discover.
Well, I like that. That was good.
Kudos to Zach. They come in. They put Drake London in positions that they feel is best suits his talent.
Yep.
He's a big body guy. But early in his career, he didn't utilize his body as much because he also didn't get a lot of opportunities. So I'm not highlighting Drake London because I was wrong. I never said he couldn't play. Just what you're expecting out of players, the day one they get drafted, you gotta slow it down a little bit.
Yeah. And then how they're utilized within the offense and develop within the offense is massive. Because if you look at him now playing where he's playing, and I'm being told they literally run behind him consistently, so you can block your ass off the way that he's blocking.
You got to and you have to reward.
And then you reward him, and he goes 10 for 158, and a touchdown could have been 2. Offense runs through 2 players, and so he can't leave the field. But they need him to block the way he's blocking. And then they reward him with the football. He's doing a lot for this offense.
It's just fun to watch this team. It's really fun to see this duo is pretty dynamic, and let's see if they can keep it up. You know, they got some tough plays, tough teams coming up, but I'm not necessarily saying that they can't keep it up, but I'm also not gonna say, of course, because the other team gets paid too.
Yeah, true. Then can we get to Bijan here for a minute? Because I want to ask you about Bijan as obviously he's a hell of a focal point of the entire offense. Yeah. And right now, I mean, we'll see with Mahomes and the return of Rashee Rice, and it looks like that offense is starting to click. It might be those two to me right now that I'm looking at MVP-wise, just because Burrow's out for this extended period of time. Lamar's been out. Patrick Mahomes and Bijan Robinson. Those are my front two for MVP.
I'm not trying to be funny. Baker Mayfield has been playing his ass off, though.
Baker Mayfield's playing his tail off. And I will say this. They're beat up on the offensive line, and they've won games. And they've been beat up in the receiver room, and they've won games. I know, they're out their top 3 guys. With Bijan, obviously the run game goes entirely through him. They can put him anywhere. I was talking to some people last night, Steve, after the game. There's a drive in the second half where he didn't line up in the same spot twice.
Yep.
They put him all over the field, and they put him everywhere. And this is the growth that he's had. I was told that the game plan for this game against Buffalo was the largest game plan mentally for him of his career. Running back coach freaking out. There is a lot on his plate, and he maybe had 2 mental errors possibly in the course of the game with everything that they wanted him to do in every spot he was lining up, all the motions he was having, all the misdirection they wanted to use to make sure that he was still getting the football, but it wasn't in a predictable manner in the way he did it. And I wanted to mention the growth that he's had, because if you remember, Arthur Smith is the one that wanted to have him come to this organization and be used this way. When Art went to Texas, I was told he worked Bijan out only as a wide receiver. That's it. He was like, I know he can run the football. I want to see how he runs routes, how he can be used in the slot, how he can be used as a pass catcher out of the backfield, all these different things. This is my vision for him. My understanding is, Steve, that's a ton to put on somebody in the rookie year. Like, he was spending time in the receiver room. It was hurting him as a running back. It was hurting him staying on track as a back. And they realized they were overloading him in the early portion of his career trying to have him do all this stuff. But now, you've talked about it a lot, couple years under your belt, things slow down, you pick up more experiences, and now he's still spending time with the receivers. He's still catching the football a bunch. They think he runs receiver-type routes. And I'm curious if you think he can do that in your eyes as a receiver.
I don't know. Here's the critical factors and specific skills.
Mm-hmm.
Running back, FBI, instinct and vision, burst and acceleration, production, ball security, elusiveness, hands, route running, and pass protection. Number 1, running back specific skill, feet, flexibility, body control, vision, burst, speed / burst / acceleration, suddenness / twitch, inside / outside run, power / breaking tackles, avoid / elusiveness, run blocking, receiving / routes, hands, ball skills / reaction / adjustment, rack, and pass pro / blitz pickup. Mm-hmm. So the critical factors 1 through 8, and then it drops down to it repeats, but 1 through 15. And you are ranked in almost like a number system in those. Okay, he's a 1 out of 5. He's a 5 here, but you can't be a 5 with feet and a 1 with hands. That's not gonna get you drafted. Yeah. That's gonna be a problem. Mm-hmm. Bijan hits all of these, and Arthur Smith doing that at college tells me they had a plan organizationally. They had a plan. He was going to be our Michael Vick. He was going to be not the cornerstone. He is the piece for us to be successful. And they wanted to confirm, not discover after drafting him, confirm this is our guy moving forward. It was a hell of a pick.
Hell of a pick. And Art was right, essentially. But
yes,
you're right.
He was.
It was too much too early, and I do get that. There's an aspect
well, Art
of
wasn't
that.
expecting his quarterback play to be so bad.
True.
He really didn't. He was just hoping that things would shape up, give him an opportunity, he'd be okay. Nah. Yeah. It just didn't work.
Yeah. It didn't. But it's now fully come together.
Yes.
There's still some people in that building that Raheem kept that were there when Art drafted Bijan. So they do all kind of come together in what they want to do. The Art ran a lot of 12 while he was there, even though Zach, when he was in with Sean McVay, they were running pretty much 3 receivers all the time.
Yeah, that's all they run.
Before they kind of have switched a little bit lately. So then you mold those together. And I think the other part that makes this interesting, and I think Zach Robinson's been a good offensive coordinator in his adjustments, as we're talking about his adjustments. He's never been with an organization where the running back's the focal point of the offense.
No.
He never has been.
It's always been wide receiver focused. This offense that they have built is based off wide receivers, condensed formation, making sure that everybody can be interchangeable. That is something that is very much where the league is going, where college is. And if you can't interchange, and that's where college and the NFL, that's where some of these guys are getting drafted with speed and or getting drafted for the boxes they check on paper.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they get them, they start to realize, yeah, he checked a box, but he was checking a box for college. He's not checking the boxes. And great example, you got Drake London, who's a basketball player. Didn't the Buffalo Bills have another basketball player? Don't they have a basketball player who played at Michigan State?
I knew
He was. What you chuckling about?
I knew this was coming.
Yeah,
because we did an episode. Go back and watch it. We did an episode.
We've done several episodes, and I've been called a hater every time. But guys, dagnammit, I'm tired of being called a hater. Why don't you just call me what I am, which is I was right. Right? Did you see AJ Terrell put the clamps? They had a go route to Mr. Jump Ball.
Keon Coleman.
And you can name him. And guess what happened?
Somebody had to.
Negatory. Nathan. I was watching him. Every time Shakir caught a pass, he was clearing it out for him. Mm-hmm. You know what I call those people? Decoy Leroy.
I've heard that with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you who wasn't a decoy Leroy. This Leroy. Shut your mouth.
Well, listen, when we finish this up here, I'll just say this. You know who wasn't a decoy last night? Because I was looking at the numbers. Drake London was targeted, Steve, on nearly half of his routes against the Bills.
He was balling, too.
He was accounted for 74% of the team's air yards. Like, those are the games as a receiver that you're just going, I'm in a groove right now. And they need that from him and Bijan. And I think this is the best duo in football between a receiver and a running back. And I'll just say this. Some people thought there was panic when Raheem Morris went and relieved their wide receiver coach, Ike Hilliard, of his duties. Yeah. It was not a panic move, because remember, it happened after that Panthers game where they got shut out. Mm-hmm. I'll just say this, nothing against Ike, nothing against anything, but this receiver group, since that move happened, has changed. This offense has changed since really that. Well, I do think, like, there's a couple things at play. Also, Zach Robinson moved from the booth down to the field. They made multiple. My point is, they saw things that were not working, and they made a couple of adjustments. And we're starting seeing this offense come together even further.
And some of those adjustments were needed sometimes because of communication, right? Where there's an offensive coordinator, there's a quarterback's coach who want the receivers to do this, and then obviously you got a receivers coach who's saying, well, we want the quarterback to do this. So unfortunately, you remove a hell of a wide receivers coach. You remove him, and now the message is not being telephoned with missing information.
Yeah.
Everything is kind of coming out of the quarterback and the offensive-minded room, and getting emphasized with the receivers. So there's no room for errors. There's no room for misinterpretation. And sometimes a guy who's a individual who is the position coach sometimes gets pushed onto the sword. He doesn't fall. He's getting pushed onto the sword, because this is the part about football and sports that I hate as a player. And I don't use the word hate, but I hate it as a player.
I know what you're going to say.
When a team is losing, someone has to be blamed. Man, you can lose by 15 points. And Ricky, who did not catch the ball for the first down in the first quarter, is the reason we lost. We're not even talking about the DB that gave up a touchdown or the running back who fumbled. the punt returner who muffed the punt. Nope, that doesn't count. When you're not talking about defense that didn't stop anybody, someone has to be blamed. And that's the part about sports. And I think I hope we get out of is looking to blame someone instead of just sometimes giving credit to the next guy. Saying, hey, they got a Pro Bowler. They got a few Pro Bowlers over there. So we were hoping to keep them contained, but, gosh darn it, they were a bit apprehensive, and they were resisting us trying to slow them down.
Well, then I'll give kudos to Raheem Morris.
Yeah.
To figure out what's not working, what's disjointed, and how do we clean up, and I like the way you put that, kind of clean up the communication, get a little bit more of a singular message coming out of the top of the offensive side of the ball, and make a couple adjustments, multiple adjustments, and now we have a team that is, playing pretty dang good football offensively. And by the way, as I say goodbye to this, really good defensive football right now. I think they're like number one in total deep. They're coming at them at
Jeff
the quarterback
Albrecht,
in droves.
Jeff Albrecht, congratulations. Man, I mean, this is the type of defense, and he wasn't getting credit for it either. This is kind of what Robert Saleh's got in trouble for, is trying to dip his hand too much into Albrecht's defense, and that's what hurt the Jets a little bit too.
Yeah, they're playing, man.
Yeah.
They are playing. They got a mantra over there, I'm told, Steve, that never more, no matter what the situation is, some of those guys on that D-line, they don't play more than 4 plays in a row, no matter what. Always fresh, always rotating.
That must be nice.
That's Drake London's like, 4 plays and off the field? What?